Hey guys, it is Mike from Baltimore Rides here again. This one does not have a date on it, but I just wanted to make a kind of a bonus video, and it's something I've been thinking about a lot lately, and I think it's worth speaking to. A lot of things I've seen in the media, on Facebook videos about, racism, especially with Uber drivers and Uber passengers. And it's kind of weighs heavily on my chest. So, I'm gonna get it out there for you guys, because I had a conversation with a rider tonight, and it was kind of eye-opening. So I'm going to talk about racism, and I think it's related to us as the ride-sharing industry. Okay, there's a video recently of a guy, a black driver, and this white kind of, I guess, preppy kid. I don't know if preppy is the word anymore, but to me he's a preppy, kind of snobby young adult who gets in the car and starts saying white privilege and basically is a jerk. I'm going to say that white kid is a jerk. That black driver, dude, if I could hug him, man, I would. I watched that video several times now because it pops up on my Facebook feed a lot. I felt like he handled it pretty damn good. He got hot himself a couple times. I don't blame him. I can't imagine what it feels like to be in his shoes. And so, thinking about that and just thinking about a lot of things that have been kind of in the media and out there, I'm going to start with a disclaimer, guys. I'm a white American who grew up in the 80s in a pretty good neighborhood in New England. I have no freaking clue what it's like to be a minority and to experience racism. I don't. I am a very empathetic person. I have a high level of empathy and sympathy. I'm very sensitive. I'm very emotionally conscious of other people's feelings, and so I feel like maybe I understand, but only really on a basic level. I don't. And I'm honest enough to admit that I have no understanding for what they go through, what anybody of any minority goes through with regards to racism, how it affects them on a daily level, how it makes you feel when you experience it, how hurt or upset or angry, or I don't understand. I just vaguely, I can say that as an empathetic person, I recognize that it's probably very, very hard, and it probably hurts a lot. And I feel for you if you are somebody that's been affected by it in your life. I feel for you, and I truly do. I mean, I genuinely do. But I am going to be honest enough to say that I'm a white dude in America. Like, I don't have the right to ever really be able to speak to the subject. Does that make sense? I don't have the right to. I don't. I think, as a white American, and I'm a mutt, guys. I'm Italian American on my dad's side. I'm British and something else on my mom's side. Not really sure what the rest is. So I'm a mutt. My kids are mutts because my wife is German, Native American, Irish. Like I'm American. I'm a white American. And, I just don't. I don't get it. Like I care about people, and I view people as individuals, and I try my best not to judge people on the surface. And I know that that's not always how it works out. I know that as a country, there's a lot of people out there that are just shitty people that don't do that don't get it, and that don't understand that what they say or do hurts other people, and that it's not right to do those things. But we as drivers, we need to be more cognizant of that, and we need to do the best we can because that's all we can do. It weighs heavy on my heart. I have friends who are of different ethnicities and nationalities and all these different things, and I can't say that I can put myself in their experiences, and I talk about it with them a lot, and sometimes I get it, and sometimes I just put my frickin' foot in my mouth and I don't get it at all. And I say stupid things that don't make any damn sense to them, because they know what it's like and I really don't. I think as Americans, we all need to just settle the hell down and treat each other with a little bit more respect, with a little bit more human decency and respect, and not care so much about where somebody comes from or what their parents' origins were, or what nation they're from if they're not from here, or what color their skin is, or any of that. We just need to treat people as people. You know what? And I know that if we do that, it's going to make a little bit of a difference. I can't control every person out there. I can't make people see things differently. I can't. If I could, I would, guys. If I could, I would wave that wand and I would make it all go away, because I think it's one of the most complicated and shitty things that the human species does. It is. Like, dogs aren't racist against other breeds of dogs. You don't see the pit bulls looking down on the Chihuahuas, or the American Eskimos, raising their nose at the golden retrievers. I mean, you don't see the animal kingdom doing that stupid shit. Only humans do that shit. And I don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't know why in 2017, when we are a world culture that is so intermingled and so global, people cannot just take the lenses off, the filtered lenses that we all wear because of the way we were brought up, the things our parents said around us when we were kids and we were influenced, the things we see in the media and on TV and read in books. We can't just take that filter off for just 1 minute and just look at each other as human beings and stop. But I don't know what we can't do it. But I'm not going to say I understand this stuff, guys. I'm not. And I just, if you're out there and you've been affected by racism, you've been treated poorly by someone who was a racist jerk, I feel for you and I'm sorry. I feel for you and I'm so sorry, because that's just not right. I don't know. Like, in my day-to-day life, I don't experience it. Like I said, I'm a white guy in America. I just don't experience it. And I don't know it's hard for me to put myself in your shoes. I so want to try. I so do. And that's what empathy is about. It's about trying to understand something that you've never truly experienced yourself. That's the definition of empathy. But it's a hard one. It's a really hard one. Anybody that's ever experienced it will tell you it's a very hard thing to describe. And I've talked to, some people that are out there that I care about who experience it probably on a daily basis, or on a very frequent basis. And, I know it affects them. I know it's something that they go through that is hard. So we need to stop contributing to that madness, because if every one of us just does a little bit better job at it, at not being judgmental, then maybe we can make the world a better place for our kids. I think we're screwed. I think our generation is screwed. I really do. I think our generation is so screwed, probably not as screwed as our parents' generations were, and so on and so forth. But, we're not going to be the generation that fixes it. But maybe our kids will be. maybe our kids will be. I had a conversation with my daughter just today about that. And she's, she amazes me. Her and my son amaze me in that they don't see the color of people's skin the way we do. They don't. And, I live in a middle to lower class suburb of Baltimore. My kids go to schools where there's all different people from all different walks of life and all different ethnicities and nationalities and all that stuff. And my kids just don't get it like we do. Like, they don't have all that pre-programming in that we got from our parents and from society. And it's cool, but I'm ever vigilant of it because I'm so afraid that one day it'll start to creep into my kids' lives. And I'm always on the radar for that because I don't want my daughter or my son to grow up with racism in their DNA. I don't want them to grow up thinking about people based on the color of their skin or where they come from. I want them to view each person as an individual. And as an individual, they can say, not now because they're kids, but they can grow up to be adults and say, you're an asshole. If somebody's, and I'm sorry about the bad language tonight, guys, I'm just in a kind of a passionate mood tonight. But if they grow up and they don't like somebody because that person is maybe not a good person, I want them to be able to say to that person, like, you're an asshole, but not say to that person, you're an asshole because of the color of your skin or because of what nation you come from or what your upbringing is or whatever. I don't want it to be based on a label or a filter. I want them to be able to judge an individual by that individual's behavior and actions. And I think that is my goal as a parent, or one of my goals as a parent for my kids, is that when they grow up, that's how they'll see people. They'll judge each person as an individual and be able to measure that person based on that person's actions and deeds and words, not based on what color they are or what nationality they are or what religion they are or any of that stuff. So, this is me rambling again, and I apologize if you guys are like, what the hell is Mike talking about? But, it's on my mind because it's stuff that's going on. I'm constantly on the lookout for Uber things in the media or on YouTube, and there's lots of little video clips popping up. More and more drivers have dash cams or whatnot. And this stuff circulates, and it's just bad stuff, guys. It's bad stuff when it happens. It's bad stuff when drivers are doing it. It's bad stuff when passengers are doing it. It's just bad stuff in general. So that's just where we're coming from. But I'm going to be honest enough to say that, I admit it. I'm a white guy and I don't get it. I'm not saying I don't get it like it's I don't believe it or I don't understand it. I know what it is, but I have to apologize because it's hard for a white guy to understand how it feels. That's the part that I have to apologize for. Not that I don't understand what racism is. I know what the definition of it is. I intellectually understand it. But that's not the same as being able to put yourself in somebody's shoes and feel what they feel. And that's the part that, I wish I could. I wish I could, because not that I want to hurt or feel the way you guys feel out there that have experienced it, but because then, then I might understand. Then I might, it might matter more. I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's so hard to explain, and I'm probably screwing it up explaining it to you guys. But, empathy is one of those things that I'm constantly focused on is, perceiving and understanding what people go through. And, I'm kind of a student of the human condition. I like to study people and talk to people and listen to people, learn from people. It's part of what makes me a good listener and talker. My skill set, my people skills. But, it's always been that one thing that I think, just because of the fact that I'm a white guy in America, I grew up in the suburbs, I think it's just like the missing piece of the puzzle that I can't quite connect to from an emotional, empathetic level. And I apologize if I've ever put my foot in my mouth, to any of you guys out there, because I don't think white people should ever really open their mouths, when it comes to that subject. Because if we do, we generally screw it up. If we open our mouths, we generally screw it up and put our foot in our mouth because of our point of reference. Just because of our point of reference. But Uber drivers are predominantly minority groups. That's a statistic that's out there somewhere. And I've seen it in my own walks, with all the drivers that I've communicated with. It's an industry that is predominated with minority groups and international people of other nationalities and, whatever, upbringings and places of origin and, ancestry and all that stuff. Some of which is people that have migrated over from the taxi cab industry, some of which is just the vast majority of people that are out there using it as a part-time gig to make some extra money. But it's not cool for our passengers to judge or treat us poorly based on that. It's not cool for passengers to do that. It's just not, because everybody's a person and everybody deserves a level of human respect and decency. Plain and simple. So if this video is so bizarre to you guys, I apologize. I know this really has nothing to do with anything that I do on a regular basis when I talk Uber stuff, but it's been weighing on my mind and I wanted to get it out there. And I'm not trying to offend anybody when I say I don't understand. I don't want you to think that. I'm not trying to offend anybody when I say I don't get it. When I'm trying to apologize and own, my shortcomings in that regard, and be honest enough to admit that there's a shortcoming, that I'll never be able to truly put myself in your shoes, and because of that, I'm humble enough to admit that, it's a subject that I'm always going to suck at. It's a subject that I'm just always going to suck at, but it doesn't mean I don't care. It doesn't mean I don't care about it. So this is a weird video. Thank you guys for listening to me. If anything I'm saying makes sense, then I'm glad. If you guys are out there and you're like, damn, Mike, where the hell did that come from? All you got to do is turn on Facebook, guys. All you got to do is turn on YouTube, turn on Facebook, turn on the media, Twitter, which I don't Twitter, by the way, because that stuff is out there, and it's rough. It's rough. So I feel for you guys. I'm trying my best to feel and know what it's like, and it's hard, but we all got to just treat each other like individuals with a level of respect. And for those passengers out there, man, don't do it. It's not cool. Okay, treat people the way they deserve to be treated. Don't treat people like crap. Okay, guys, I'm signing off.